Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be going over the performance of my September 2017 stock picks, and I try and make these videos every month or so to go over the performance of my past stock picks and compare that performance to an S&P 500 ETF to see how these stocks are doing relative to an S&P 500 ETF so that we can see if I am beating the market or not with my picks. And these picks are only about 4 months old, which is not enough time to determine whether or not they were successful because, like I always say, I am making picks for the long term, so that is several years into the future, but it is still nice to see how they are doing in the short term. So don't put too much weight on the performance of the picks in the short term, but it is still nice to look at how the picks are doing. So the 5 picks that I made were ExxonMobil, Delta, MolsonCoors, Shire, and Nike. And I will be using a calculator that factors in dividend reinvestment into the returns because I always say that reinvesting your dividends is a good idea if you can. So the first pick of ExxonMobil, as you can see here, was up 10.19% since I made the recommendation, which I am very happy with. I think that that is a very solid return in just 0.35 of a year. And to the right, there is a chart of if you were to invest $10,000, what that would have turned into over the last 4 months. The second stock that I recommended in September of 2017 was Delta Airlines. And as you can see here, the return for Delta was 22%, which is absolutely insane. That is a great performance over 4 months. I'm super happy with that. I still like Delta. I'm still holding on to all of my shares, and I hope that they can continue to perform very well like they have been. The third stock that I recommended was MolsonCoors, and they have been a pretty bad performer so far. They were down 7.27%, so obviously this is not ideal. I still like the company long term. I'm holding on to my shares, but in the short term, they have not performed very well. The fourth company that I recommended was Shire Pharmaceuticals, and they were up 8.7%, so not a bad return. As you can see, they were very volatile from the chart of $10,000 invested that is on the right, but in the end, they ended up performing pretty well, so I am happy with their performance. The final stock that I recommended in September of 2017 was Nike, and they were up 17.46%, so that is a great return. I am very happy with it. As you can see from the chart on the right, they were down or flat for the first few months, but then in the end, they have spiked quite a bit recently and have performed very well. And here is the performance of an S&P 500 ETF. The S&P 500 ETF was up 10.22% since I made the recommendations in September, so we can use this to compare my picks to the S&P 500 ETF to see if I am outperforming or underperforming the S&P 500. So I averaged the returns of my stock picks, and I got an average return of 10.22%. So that is actually identical to the market. So the stock picks for September of 2017 performed exactly the same as the market. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below and consider subscribing.